Foundation, Level Objective. 5.5.1 K3. Prepare a defect report. You will surely get a question about defect reports in the exam. Just make sure you know the elements of a typical defect report. You usually need to know what's missing from the defect report. Q1. You received the following defect report from the developers stating that the anomaly described in this test report is not reproducible. Application hangs up 2022 May 3rd. John Doe, rejected. The application hangs up after entering test input whatever in the name field on the new user creation screen. Tried to log off, log in with test admin 01 account, same issue. Tried with other test admin accounts, same issue. No error message received. Log, see attached, contains fatal error notification. Based on the test case, the application should accept the provided input and create the user. Please fix with high priority. This feature is related to request number, which is a critical new business requirement. What critical information is missing from this test report that would have been useful for the developers? This is one of the questions you have to read carefully. A. Expected result and actual result. Nope. Both are represented in the defect report. The expected result is no error message received, and the actual result is the application hangs up. B. References and defect status. Nope. The defect status is rejected. References to the test case and request number are present. C. Test environment and test item. Yes, we don't know which test object is affected by this bug, and the test environment is not mentioned. D. Priority and severity. Both priority and severity are mentioned at the end of the defect report. Correct answer is C. Q2. You are testing a sort function that gets a set of numbers as input and returns the same set of numbers sorted in ascending order. The log from the test execution looks as follows. Which of the following provides the best description of the failure that can be used in a defect report? Well, we need your tester's sharp eye for this one. If you look at the inputs and outputs of running each test case, you'll notice that there is a problem with sorting duplicate numbers. Such observation would be useful for the developer to know. A. The system fails to sort several sets of numbers. Even though the statement is correct, the description does not provide any information to help the developer. B. The system seems to disregard duplicates while sorting. This statement is very accurate and efficient. The function seems to ignore duplicates and discard the repetitions. C. The system fails to sort negative numbers. Incorrect. The bug is not only with negative numbers as in test case 3. D. TC3, TC4, and TC5 have defects duplicate input data and should be corrected. Incorrect. The problem is with the output data, not with the input. Q3. Consider the following defect report for a web-based shopping application. Application, web shop version 0.99. Defect, login button not working. Steps to reproduce. Launch the website. Click on the login button. Expected result. The user should be redirected to the login page. Actual result. The login button does not respond when clicked. Severity, high. Priority, urgent. What is the most important information that is missing from this report? A quick look at the defect report shows that the web browser version is not mentioned. Let's examine the options. A. Name of the tester and date of the report. Yeah, the tester's name is not mentioned, but it's not of that importance. Let's wait on this one. They're asking for the most missing information. B. Test environment elements and their version numbers. This is correct. The important thing that is missing is the identification of the browser and device used for the testing. C. Identification of the test object. Incorrect. The test object version number is mentioned. D. Impact on the interests of stakeholders. Incorrect. It's mentioned that the severity is high. Correct answer is B. Fourth and last question. Consider the following defect report for a book lending system. Defect ID title, unable to return a book. Severity, high. Priority, nothing. Environment, description. When attempting to return a book using the book return feature, the system does not register the return and the book remains checked out to the user. Steps to reproduce. Log in to the book lending system as a user who has checked out a book. Click on the Book Return button for the book that has been checked out. System does not register the return and the book remains checked out. Expected result: the book should be returned and no longer appear as checked out to the user. Actual result: the book remains checked out to the user and is not registered as returned in the system. Attachments: nothing. Which of the following is most likely to help the developer reproduce the failure quickly? So we want to add information that would help the developer reproduce the failure. A. Adding information about which users and which books the issue affects to the description section. This makes sense. The developer needs to use the same input data as the tester to reproduce the issue easily. B. Filling in the missing value for the priority field. Incorrect. The priority will not help reproduce the defect itself. C. Adding memory dumps and database snapshots taken after each step described in the Steps to Reproduce section to the Attachments section. This is a good suggestion. However, saying to provide memory dumps and database snapshots after each step is unbearable. No developer on earth will like that. It will waste the developer's time at least. D. Repeating the same test case for different environments and writing defect reports for each of them separately. This will not help the developer reproduce the failure for the specified test environment. The correct answer is A.